Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Marriage, Money, and Mindset. We are your hosts. I'm Jared.
And I'm Alexis.
And we are back another week, episode 13 today. Shout outs. First, we want to shout out episode 12. If y'all watched it, we appreciate y'all on roles on a marriage or roles in a marriage.
Right.
Yeah, that was our last episode. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all got some good, information out of that. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. Also, we crossed 200 subscribers. So, hey, man, we moving on up. We appreciate your new subscribers. Welcome to the channel.
Right.
And so we are back now, episode 13. Episode 13 of Marriage, Money, and Mindset. So we're still going to be discussing more of the marriage side of our channel. That's what we're kind of been on. If you look at the last episode, it was pertaining to marriage. So we're going to keep that trend rocking. So today, we actually want to explore one of our books in our library that we have here. And the book is
The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman.
Yeah, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, right? Yeah, so we read this book actually a while ago. Like, I think, in the beginning of our relationship?
We were either dating or first married.
Yeah, man. She the one helped me to this, by the way. This wasn't something that I just, recommended. I recommended, like Rich Dad Poor Dad and
But this one is a good one too.
yeah, no, this is a real good one. It's good for marriages, relationships, couples.
Because you got to feed all areas of your relationship,
Yeah,
not
of
just
course.
finances.
Oh yeah, of course. So, but yeah, guys. So we're gonna be talking about the 5 love languages. I don't know. Some of you may have heard of this book. Some of you may have not. Right. So we're just gonna, kind of give a quick breakdown of the book, but also make it personal between us as well. Right. So again, the book is by Gary Chapman. And pretty much the premise of it is like, you're trying to figure out your love language, but also trying to figure out what your partner's love language is, right?
So how do you express and receive love?
Yeah,
Basically.
exactly. Right. That's the whole premise of it, just trying to explore. Because think about it, like, we're going to get into it, but, just to start off, like, let's say if you have a partner or a spouse, right? And, they don't seem like they're being or feeling like they're being loved a certain way. It may be because you're not speaking their love language, right?
Right.
You
could be doing a bunch of different things. Because, there's 5. So let's say you're doing 4 of those things and you think you're doing everything right, but you're speaking every language except theirs.
Yeah. Most of us think, the way we want to be loved is how they want to be loved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Most people are like that.
Yeah.
I think that's how we expect to be
you usually
reciprocated.
You usually show what you think is how love should be, right?
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting, guys. Like I said, we're going to dive into it. We're going to get into all 5 of the love languages. And hopefully we can help y'all maybe explore what yours and maybe what your partner's is, right? So that's the point of this video today. So if you're going to have a strong relationship, you have to know how you and your partner both give and receive love, right?
Right.
Okay. So let's touch on the very first one. Let's just dive right on in.
Okay. So the first one is Words of Affirmation. So that's verbal affirmations, compliments, and words of encouragement. So what are some different ways that we can show words of affirmation?
Self-explanatory, compliments. Hey, babe, you look nice today. I like that hat you're wearing. Okay. Saying I love you, right? Just meaningful words, right? Meaningful words that would make that other person, feel loved, right?
Right. Or some other ways is expressing your appreciation for their efforts. You can even express it non-verbally.
Okay.
So
what's a nonverbal way of expressing?
Like sending them love notes or thoughtful text messages would be ways non-verbally to express it.
So I got you. So it's words, but it's just not verbally spoken. It's just via text.
Right.
That 2023 stuff, right? I got you.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
An interesting thing is if your partner's love language or if your love language is words of affirmation, you can also be torn down by words.
Yeah, I was going to get into you stole the words out of my mouth.
Okay, go ahead.
No, just basically like what we discovered, of course, pertaining to words of affirmations are actually like insult. If you're offended by insults like the most, then that may be your love language, right? Because if an insult wasn't, that detrimental to you and it didn't really affect you that much, then maybe that's not so much your love language. Some people got, I guess,
tougher skin. Maybe.
Yeah, tougher skin,
but the people who
it's still not right though. But but if they really hurt behind you giving off an insult, obviously that may be their love language, and that's one way to discover it.
Right, you want to be careful with the words that you use if your partner's love language is words of affirmation, because you can make or break them pretty much.
Right. So obviously make sure if this is their love language, give them compliments, nonverbal or verbal, and try to avoid the insults. Okay, let's keep it moving.
Definitely avoid the insults.
But you can't discover if that's their love language, but go ahead. Number 2.
Okay, so the second love language is acts of service. So acts of service is doing thoughtful actions for your partner.
I'm sorry.
Come on, it's acts of service.
Okay.
Doing thoughtful actions for your partner. So things to express acts of service is like helping out with chores around the house or tasks.
Yeah.
Without being asked. That's important.
I did that tonight. Did you notice?
Yeah.
See, that's how I get down. You know what I'm saying?
I think that you always do that.
Yeah, I mean, I do them all, but
You think I do that too?
Of course, yeah. I mean, we both. That's the
I
thing,
came home
man.
late because what?
Oh yeah. She went and got me that sweet cream. Little snipper in it, you know what I'm saying? That's my favorite from Marble Slab, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all gotta try it if y'all ain't never tried it. The sweet cream with the Snickers. Go get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Chores, errands that ease the burden of responsibilities.
Like sometimes he'll just take my car and go get it washed and go get it detailed. Yeah. And then I wake up and I have a full tank of gas and my car is shiny. Yeah. So those are acts of service.
Now, on the negative side, if you break those commitments, and then, of course, having laziness, if that makes you feel unloved, again, that may be a way to figure out if that's your love language, right?
Okay.
Again, like I said, you don't want to do detrimental things to discover, oh, that's her love language. You want to try to figure out the positive things to do.
Right.
But again, if you break commitments, things of that nature, and then they're really hurt by it, obviously acts of service may be potentially their love language, right? Let's keep it moving. What's the third one? Okay.
The third love language is receiving gifts. So whenever I say gifts, it's meaningful gifts. So regardless of the cost, you want to show sentimental value.
Okay, so explain. Give me one.
Okay, so if it's a special occasion like our anniversary, you give a well-chosen gift. Yeah. So not something that, people whose love language is gifts, receiving gifts, it is really the thought that counts.
Yeah, it's not so much the cost of it, it's more so like how personal it is to that individual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, have you been listening?
The thought behind the gift.
Yeah, have you been listening to the things that they say that they need, or the things that they say that they want, or just things that will make them smile and something that they'll be able to hold on to even after they receive it. Yeah,
ideally something more personal, but for the ones who may be trying to figure it out, some examples could be maybe getting a card or picking flowers, or things of that nature, and then back to the detriment side of it, I would say, what is really no detriment side to it that I have at the moment? I
know.
There is one. Yeah, so like if it's their birthday and you don't get them anything, well, obviously, that would demonstrate,
that you don't really love me. They may feel like that. Yeah, you don't really love me. You didn't even get me anything for.
If you just say, "Hey, happy birthday," and it's no gift to go with it. Yeah, man. I would personally, again, that's one way to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not the
leave it
best
alone.
at giving gifts.
I mean,
Not all
again,
the
you
time.
know,
Unless I get
yeah,
it, like sometimes I'm walking through the store and as I see something, I'm like, man, I would love to give this to whoever. Like I think of a person at that time.
yeah,
And I should get it right then and there because that's the best thing. Because whenever it's time to give the gift and I go shopping, like if it's an occasion, I don't remember what to get. But I know two people, like my sister and my sister-in-law, are really good at giving thoughtful gifts.
I guess you just got to pay attention to what that person's into, and then of course get something, you know, related to what they're into. That makes it personable, right?
Right.
Okay, so cool. That's the fourth one. We on number 4, right?
Yes.
Let's keep it moving. What we got?
Okay, so the fourth love language is quality time. So quality time is building connection by spending undivided time together, focusing on each other.
Right.
Keyword,
Undivided.
undivided.
So no TVs, no cell phones, no laptops, no iPods,
Removing all the
things
distractions.
of that nature. You know, being in tune with your partner.
Right.
You know, eye to eye contact. You know, yeah, one-on-one time.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, you got to listen better. You know, also ask them what they like to do, right? Don't assume what they like to do. Ask them what they like to do and schedule a day to do that, right?
Right. That's what I was going to say too.
So,
Like
yeah.
planning dates are really important to somebody whose love language is quality time.
Yeah, I agree.
And then choosing activities that you both can enjoy. So if you go on a date night and you're doing an activity, that's bonding.
Yeah.
I mean, that's creating a memory that you won't forget.
Right. And don't try not to cancel or postpone it.
Right.
That's another thing. Back to the detriment side of it. If you want to figure out a detrimental way of figuring out their love language, if it's quality time, set up something and then cancel. And then if they really upset, that's their love language. Yeah.
Or showing up late.
Or showing up late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
we're going to give you the good and the bad.
right.
So let's go. We got one more.
Yeah. So the
Last
fifth
one, guys.
love language is physical touch.
Yeah.
So physical touch is expressing your love through physical gestures. Not necessarily sexual, it can be, but other things that are non-sexual could be like hugs, kisses, cuddles, slaps on the butt, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, like she mentioned, it's not necessarily sex. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, just a little touching around the house, holding hands, cuddle, you know, feet touch my feet when we in the bed.
I gotta have my feet touching your feet if I go to sleep.
As long as the nails done right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What?
No,
My nails always done right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, just common sense stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And then again, you know, if you want to figure out the detrimental way, if this is her love language, you know, y'all go walking somewhere and, you know, you're not holding a hand or putting a hand around her waist and she highly upset about that. That's a love language. Or if you upset about not holding hands or whatever, then that may be your love language, right? Yeah. So those are pretty much the 5.
Yeah.
I would say, man, like whichever one you get the most excited about when you hear it, in my
Or
opinion,
whenever you receive it.
that may be yours.
Right. And the same vice
know what I'm
versa. If
saying?
you don't receive it and you're really affected by it, that may be your love language.
That's true too.
But I was going to say, like massages, that could tie into acts of service and physical touch.
Yeah.
Like giving a massage. Because you're doing something
It's
for
kinda,
the other person.
Yeah, it's like a blend of the two.
Right.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. So look, next what we want to do is give y'all some ways to figure out, you know, which love language or how you can figure out your love language, right? So it's 3 things. The first thing is examine your childhood, right?
So how did your parents express love to you? Because usually you carry that into adulthood.
Yeah, it's what you were exposed to.
Right.
You know, like just to make it personal, I didn't really grow up in a household where we all expressed love by saying we loved each other, like verbally said we love each other. We knew we loved each other, but
Like
we
words
never,
of affirmation was not on the
we
top.
didn't do that, you know. But that's not, again, that's not to say that my parents, and I don't get upset when I'm not told I love you. That's how I know that's not really my love language, right?
Right.
But, you know, my parents did give us gifts, you know, they spent quality time with us. So, yeah, you know, in turn, I like to do those for her. I like to do, you know, gifts, you know, give her gifts, acts of service,
Yeah.
quality time, things of that nature. That's usually how I express my
Right.
love for her, right?
And then vice versa
Yeah.
for my household, we were very affectionate and like expressing
Yeah.
through words and touchy-feely. Like we gave hugs and kisses constantly. We still do. And we always throw out I love you at all times.
Yeah.
So that's the way that I express my love to him.
Right. So number 2 way to figure out your love language, right? Ask what's your first instinct when you want to show someone you love them. Okay.
Right.
So if someone asks, hey, when it's time to show love to someone, what do you think? That's a good indication to determine your love language, because that's the first instinct you'll have to show them.
Right.
So
Well, again, like you
right.
mentioned in the beginning, the way that we receive love is normally how we give it off. So that's normally the natural reaction that we have.
Right. Yeah. And then, of course, the last way to figure it out, kind of back to the detrimental side, right? Look at what hurt you in the past, because it can shed light on what your love language is. So, again, you know, if you were wanting to spend quality time with someone, or if they had y'all set up a date, they canceled on you, and you really hurt by it, well, quality time may be yours, right?
Right.
So if you're really hurt by anything basically that affects you the most is your 9 times out of 10 probably your love language, right?
So one
So there you
important
go.
thing to point out that Gary Chapman points out in the book is some people think that they require multiple or all 5 love languages. But according to him, one of them is your primary love language.
Yeah.
So even though you may speak multiple languages, you're bilingual, one of them is dominant.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So if all 3 of the tips that we gave doesn't work, you can always go on Google and search 5 love languages quiz.
they actually have one inside the book, I believe, too, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Or they have a
somewhere in the
link.
book. Yeah, if you want to go find a link online.
Right.
You can probably Google it. Just type
Yeah,
in,
you can
Google the 5 love language quiz.
And then you can take the
pop up.
quiz, you and your partner, your spouse, and figure out what your love language is and what theirs is.
Right.
And it'll actually rank them 1 through 5, like which one is your most dominant and your least dominant.
There you go. What we think of love may not be seen that way by our partners.
Right.
We touched on that. And it's vital to learn and understand their love language, because, again, you know, we want to make them feel love, right?
Right. Think of your love language like a gas tank.
Yeah.
So
It's a great analogy, so go ahead.
yeah,
I'll let
like
you
if
explain.
your gas tank is full, then you can go a longer distance.
Okay.
Same thing with if your love language is full. If you're constantly feeding your partner's love language, you guys' relationship is going to go far. It's going to go the distance. If it's like on a fourth of a tank, you can go somewhere, but you're
it's
not
on
going far. You're not going very far.
Yeah, it could
But
be
if
on
it's
E,
an
running
empty
on
tank,
fumes.
exactly.
Yeah, you know, barely getting by, man. You know, you got to do some work if that's the case. You know, it's not the end of the day, but we got to get some gas in the tank. You know what I'm saying? Because
You got to feed that fuel.
we about to run out of. We about to have to pull this thing over, man, and push it or
Yeah, something.
leave it on the side of the road.
No, don't leave it.
Go, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, guys, you know, love is a choice, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
It's a verb. It's an action word.
It's something you can control. You know, so do the actions first, and the feeling of love should follow, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you know, go ahead.
Okay. If you understand your partner's love language, it can improve your communication between each other. It can strengthen your connection. It can invite more vulnerability, help you guys with conflict resolution, and increase your satisfaction.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So let's talk about oils real fast before we sum this video up. I think like for me, man, I'd probably have to say, you know, physical touch. You know, even though I wasn't, you know, physically well, like growing up, because we mentioned one way of kind of figuring out what your love language may be. It wasn't a lot of hugs and all that going on, but you know, for me, I discovered that that's mine because I just, you know.
So when I hug you, you feel love?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, of course, it's, you know,
You feel like that's your top one?
I think it's, huh?
You feel like that's your primary love language? I think another one is your primary.
I believe I think it's a combination of them, though. I don't think
we talked about that.
Yeah, I don't think I had just one.
I think acts of service is your top one.
Okay.
Because if you think about the reverse side, like the detrimental side, whenever I'm not doing certain things, doesn't that affect you?
She might be right, guys. She might be on to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess I just discovered what mine is. That live on here. Yeah. That's what's up. I appreciate you. Yeah. There you
now,
go.
my love language, right?
Go ahead.
My love language is definitely words of affirmation.
Yeah, I would have to say so.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I know when I say certain things, man.
Then what?
It go down.
Whatever.
It go down. But nah, we just, you know, that's just us getting a little personal with y'all, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know, yeah, guys, it's important to figure it out, man. Figure out your spouses. You know, don't be selfish, be selfless. You know what I'm saying?
And don't assume, have the conversation.
Yeah.
If you do all three of those things and you still don't know, take the quiz and then have the conversation.
And just explore each one. Whichever one gets your partner the most excited, that might be a clue, right?
And you may want to do those things weekly, like pour into their tank weekly or often. I won't give a
just as often as possible, man.
Right, because you definitely want their tank to remain on E or close to.
Not on E. You said on E.
Oh, on F. I mean, make sure it's full. Make sure it's a full tank. My bad.
Keep a full tank of gas, right?
Yeah.
Don't never run on fumes.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what we got for y'all today, y'all.
Yeah.
We hope y'all enjoyed this episode on Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages. Hope we gave y'all some, you know, good gems to implement in y'all's, you know,
Relationship or marriage.
Right?
Make sure to like this video. If you know somebody who you think it would benefit, go ahead and share it with them.
Right.
Subscribe if you have not already.
Yeah.
And then follow us on Instagram at Marriage, Money, and Mindset.
Guys, we got one more thing we want to say for y'all. Hey, look, we do these opportunity alerts, right? That's coming up, by the way. We just want to give y'all a heads up. Opportunity alert is when we offer y'all the opportunity to earn the value of one share that we invest in. So we also, this channel is about money as well. So we do invest in the stock market as one of our investment vehicles.
Right.
So again, we're going to be doing that at the end of this month. So make sure you stay tuned, turn on your notifications if you haven't. That way you'll get alerted as soon as we get ready to drop the video. It's coming towards the end of the month, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, and we got this week is Thanksgiving. Hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Y'all eat some good food.
Hope y'all enjoy while we're at work.
Yeah, we hustling that day, but we gonna still, you know.
Oh yeah, we still gonna visit.
We're not working all day. Yeah, man. So so appreciate y'all, man. Keep watching, staying tuned, and we'll catch y'all next week. Y'all have a good week, and we'll catch y'all next week.
All right, peace.